Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing very well. So I just watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Let's talk about it. So the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special is directed by James Gunn, and this is another one of Marvel's special presentations, the first of which we saw a couple of months back with Werewolf by Night, which in my opinion was a really great entry into the MCU and a great introduction to the kind of monsters verse, you know, this kind of pocket of the MCU, which I'm really excited to see more of. I have my thoughts on Werewolf by Night in my What I've Been Watching Spooky Edition video that you guys can check out if you haven't already. But overall, I would say that that special presentation was a success, and I was really excited to see some other special presentations from Marvel as well. And luckily, we didn't have to wait for too long for this one to pop up for the holiday season. Now, this is going to be a quick review. I mean, I say this now, but you guys know me. You guys know me, I love to talk, but this should be a quick review because there's not much I can say other than this was good. Like, like it was good. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was good. If you watched the holiday special, you know it was good. The basis of the story is that we have the Guardians of the Galaxy hanging out in Nowhere, the place that they recently purchased from the collector himself, we learn here. So they're actually running the place and they're trying to fix it up, but it's also the Christmas season, and this brings out some complicated feelings for one Peter Quill. One, because he's still a little bit depressed over Gamora having died and then come back again, but not this version of her. Like, he's still kind of upset because he lost his girlfriend. Okay, what's sad about Gamora? I am sad that she's gone, but it's just the fact that it's Peter Quill and he's annoying anyway. But then of course you have that opening sequence that's actually animated in my least favorite animation style, might I say. My least favorite animation style. I don't know why, side note, I don't know why so many animated shows look like that these days. I don't know why that is a stylistic choice that has become popular. Like, if I consider the animation for like Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, or even Avengers Assemble, the animated show that came after that one, I preferred that so much better to what we're getting now, like the Guardians of the Galaxy show that looks very similar to this. I really hate the style. It's too simplistic. It looks too cheap to me. I wish they'd take a page out of Invincible's book, or even What If's book. What happened to the animation in What If? Couldn't they do like a quick little sketch for the beginning and end of this little special presentation? But anywho, this is just a setup to explain Peter's relationship with Christmas, you know, considering the fact that he left planet Earth quite early on in his life because he was taken on by the Ravagers under Yondu. He obviously doesn't have that close connection to Christmas anymore, and so his feelings towards the holiday have been influenced by the Ravagers, and in particular Yondu. And so we see this opening scene where Yondu is disparaging this little holiday that Peter's trying to celebrate. He's like, what are you doing? And he throws stuff in a bin and sets fire to it. Like, it's all very, very dramatic. And this is a story that Peter has told to the other Guardians, and they've interpreted it as a very traumatic incident, which makes it difficult for him to enjoy the holidays. But of course, later on we find out that there was a little happy ending to that story that, you know, made it a little bit more comforting to Peter. And I think the complicated relationship that he has with the holidays mostly relates to the fact that Yondu is now gone. But before we get to that ending, you see Mantis take it upon herself to try and make Peter feel better, and so she and Drax decide to head on over to Earth in search for something that Peter never shuts up about, and that is Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon, the superhero of Earth. Okay, he's living his life in California, minding his damn business, when these two aliens show up and just kidnap him. And I think this was a really cute sequence. I especially loved when Mantis and Drax were hanging out in, like, is it Hollywood Boulevard? I've never been to LA. I've even been to America, actually. As much as I talk about this country all the time, I've never been, so I think it's Hollywood Boulevard. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. You guys can correct me down in the comments, okay? But they're hanging out in downtown LA, and people think that they are basically like impersonators. They think that they're dressing up so that they can, you know, take pictures with people, and they get paid a ton of money, which Mantis promptly loses at a bar. That's a really fun sequence that we get to see funny. We get some cameos from other Marvel, you know, Avengers characters that other people are dressed up as, and it's just like cute and fun and light-hearted, and I think it's exactly what you would need for the Christmas holidays. And I think the fact that you have Drax and Mantis, you know, they're pretty innocuous characters, but they are likable enough to carry this sequence. I think it works with them, and they have a great chemistry, and their relationships are different enough to make that dynamic really interesting. It's all about having a great team dynamic, and that's something that James Gunn absolutely excelled in when it came to the Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was why I was so much harsher on his approach to the Peacemaker team, because I don't think it was on that level. And then after that cute little downtown Hollywood scene, you move on to the kidnapping Kevin Bacon portion of the special presentation, and that was fun. Like, you get to see Mantis and Drax kind of, you know, making a mess of Kevin Bacon's house, and they're jumping around, and yes, it looks very CG heavy. Nothing looks real here. But I don't think the point is to go for photorealism. At the end of the day, it's supposed to just be a fun little insert into the Guardians story, and I think it works in that way. And I think Kevin Bacon is definitely down, you know, for the journey, for the ride, which is really cool. And everyone's Bacon numbers is going all the way up after this special presentation with Kevin Bacon, because it's a really great way to introduce him into the franchise, especially if he doesn't want to commit to, you know, being a full-on character. The fact that he himself is a character in the MCU now, like canonically, is actually a pretty sweet deal for the guy. So at first, Kevin Bacon is freaking out, but Mantis uses her special powers to influence his emotions, get him nice and chill, and then they head off to the ship where they're gonna go back to nowhere, but not before realizing that Kevin is in fact only an actor and not an actual superhero, much to their annoyance and disgust. I love that. I loved when Mantis was like, he's an actor. I love this canon of the Guardians just despising actors. Just the thought of James Gunn writing this on the script and like presenting it to a bunch of actors. But the gang finally head back to nowhere with their newly secured present, and they set up this beautiful display of Christmas lights, and they have that alien band that just discovered like human music, and they've misinterpreted all of the lore surrounding Santa and Christmas, but they're there too. Those characters were amazing. I don't know who portrayed that main like lead guy in the alien band, but he was spot on. But I have to say, you know, up until now, this was really fun and cute. I loved seeing Mantis and Drax exploring Earth, you know, and just doing something so trivial and so crazy like kidnapping Kevin Bacon. I thought whilst the premise was very, very simple, it was very well executed, and it made for a fun time up until this point. But the moment where you see Peter Quill in nowhere again, and he heads on out to see what the commotion is all about, only to see that these guys, these lovable frauds, oh, I'm getting teary-eyed just like thinking about it. Oh my goodness. But when he sees his friends who have basically become his family, and some of them used to be his enemy, let's be real, okay, Nebula, when he sees the effort that all of these guys put into recreating this Christmas dream, this Christmas miracle on this foreign planet, I just thought that was such a beautiful scene, guys. I was literally blown away. I thought it was so heartwarming. In that moment, this funny, cute little special became something truly special. Like, it became something really, really heartwarming, and something that I would love to watch every single year during the holidays. And full credit to Chris Pratt here as well, because as much as we might like to drag him, and oh boy, do we like to drag him for many reasons, but he was so great here, as small as his role was. The emotion that he conveyed, just seeing what his friends had done for him, was just everything. It really was. It was the heart of this entire experiment, and I think it just worked out so well, so beautifully, because of that moment. Now, it's kind of undercut when he's heading towards the present. Okay, Groot is rolling over this massive gift, and he's like, what else have these guys done? This is so nice. He's heading towards the present. And this massive box only for someone to be thumping and bumping inside, trying to get out because they have no air. And all of a sudden he comes face to face with Kevin Bacon, and he's like, God damn it, you kidnapped Kevin Bacon. But at the same time, he's still touched by the gesture. And I think, again, it speaks to, you know, Peter's story really being the heart of this special and really working because of Chris Pratt's performance. But after Peter discovers what his friends have done for him, he gets Mantis to reverse the emotional manipulation that she did on Kevin Bacon, and he starts freaking out inevitably, and he wants to go back home. But just as he's about to head back to Earth, you have Kraglin have this chat with him where he explains, you know, where Peter's mind has been and why his friends would do this for him. And you see Kevin Bacon, you know, he has a heart. He calls his family and tells them he's going to be a couple of hours late. I don't know what the journey time is between nowhere and Earth, but I guess you have like what, warp speed, hyper speed. Is that the wrong franchise? I don't know. I actually don't know how space travel works in this franchise, but anyway, Kevin Bacon decides to go back and give everyone a super cliche but classic nonetheless, you know, on stage performance of a holiday song, a holiday adjacent song. And honestly, it's the perfect ending. Like, it really is the perfect ending to the perfect little Christmas special that James Gunn has given us. We get some really cool moments. Of course, we have the introduction of Cosmo the dog, who's voiced by Maria Bakalova from the Borat sequel. And you get one of my favorite moments, not just from this special, but literally in the entire MCU, because it was a moment that came full circle, and that was when Nebula presented Rocket with his Christmas present, and it ended up being Bucky's arm. Listen, we have questions. Of course we have questions, okay? But let's just put those questions to the side for a second here and appreciate the fact that the whole line that Rocket had in Infinity War, where he took one look at Bucky's arm and he was like, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna have that somehow, some way. I'm going to have that arm eventually. And it all came full circle with Nebula giving him exactly what he wanted. Like I said, we have questions. It doesn't matter for now because it was just the perfect ending to this special. And actually, before the special ended, you do have this revelation that Mantis is in fact Peter's half sister. And so they share a really great emotional ending where he, you know, tells her the rest of the Yondu story, and she tells him the truth about why it meant so much to her for him to have a really great holiday. And again, I was getting teary-eyed, like, guys, just what an amazing, heartwarming entry into the Guardians' story. I really ended up loving this holiday special, and just like I'll be watching Werewolf by Night every Halloween from now on, because it's not too scary for me as a scaredy cat, I think it's great that Marvel has also given me a holiday special to watch every Christmas. That's definitely going to be a part of my Christmas tradition, and all I have to say is massive round of applause to James Gunn for really making that happen. I think the Guardians of the Galaxy are truly his magnum opus, and I'll be so sad to see him go after Volume 3. And so with all of that being said, guys, I'm going to be giving the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special an 8 out of 10. So that's it from me. Now that I told you guys my thoughts on the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, it's time for you guys to let me know what you thought of this special little presentation down in the comments below. Please be sure to subscribe to catch new videos coming up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.